Hey guys, I am doing a night mission on the boat again, testing out. Well, it's pretty dark out there. Uh, Testing out my new BoatEye360 camera, which is a low light. So right now you can't really see anything, but right in front of me is a boat that somebody has conveniently tied up in the middle of the canal. Anyway, very low tide. Disappointingly low tide actually. I almost could not get the boat out, and we're going out on the 4th to watch fireworks, and it's of a foot lower that night. I'm really disappointed because it was something I really didn't want to deal with on this lift, and it just won't go in the water far enough to get out on a winter tide. But basically, this camera is just an ultra low light camera, and it mounts on top of the boat. And inside of this pilot house, it's particularly difficult to see out. If I were to stick the phone outside, it would be just slightly better, as you can see here. But between the glass and the window tint, which it's the lightest tint you can get, but it is a ceramic tint that I had put on to help with heat, since it is an enclosed pilot house. And bottom line is, it's not easy to look through glass of any sort at night in a boat. Plus, it catches any other lights behind you. And it's just not a very good thing to try to drive at night unless you can have your head outside. And unfortunately, on this boat at this time, it doesn't have it. There's no, you can't tip the windows out either. So you're pretty much at the mercy of what you can see through the glass. As you can see, this camera is definitely helping a whole bunch and seeing where I'm going, what's going on. It's a particularly dark night. I haven't been able to see if there's a moon or not. Had some troubles with the boat this week. For some reason, the battery died. I was going to take this out 2 nights ago, and it wouldn't. I couldn't even get the lights barely came on inside, and the battery ended up testing bad. So I'm not sure what happened there, but there's another battery that was up front that is tied into the other battery, the main start battery, and the guy that has the boat, he had it where it charged separately, and he ran the electronics off of it, but apparently it fell over, and when it fell over, it, I guess it caused some kind of a internal short, and it was pulling down the main battery. And I think it just, although I never had any issues, I mean, because I turned the battery switch off, but I found out that battery was tied in direct, even with the switch off. So I think that whenever the internal short happened, it wasn't a significant one, not like a fire starter or anything, but it was enough to pull the battery down low enough that it injured it. Also, I had another alternator on this boat when I first put together the 12-volt system. I put about 100 amp alternator on it, and I was running the air conditioner. Everything was pretty okay, but one night I turned the air conditioner off because it was just no need for it, no heat, no air. And I noticed on my display down here, it was in like the 15 range, and this gauge down here, the old analog gauge, it was pegged, which it's pretty inaccurate anyway. But anyway, I started getting an over voltage alarm on this camera. So long story short, a new alternator went bad and started putting out maximum power. So if there wasn't enough of a load, it was just overvolting. And I had to replace it. I put a one wire from Jegs, I forget the brand, but Power Master or something like that. And the one wire has been really good. The only issue is and it is a Marine, but the configuration on this Volvo inboard outboard is that the alternator provides power to the fuel pump, so that the engine, you get initial prime, but unless the alternator is spinning, the fuel pump gets no power. And now, if the engine were to go dead, then the fuel pump's going to run until I turn the key off. So I've seen it done by oil pressure as well on a different engine. So for safety, I'll probably put an oil pressure switch in it. It's that house where that boathouse is. Let's see if we can see it. All right. My neighbors probably think, who's that crazy guy that always goes out in the middle of the night? Normally, I keep my doors and windows shut. I have my air conditioner on in here. My dog's back there too somewhere. And because it is a bit of a bark fest around here at times, especially at night. Sure. I'm just going on a very short run. Actually, I think I might need to move this camera. I really need to mount it, and you're not going to see anything up there. I kind of hate to mount it to an expensive window tint, though. I'm also getting pretty tired of holding it. So I guess I'm going to have to come up with a plan here. Well, so far the camera's pretty dang good from what I'm seeing. This particular version is running a straight HDMI from the camera, whereas your other offerings out there are a few different options you have to do this. One of which is a security camera, and the HDS unit and probably most of your others now can work with an IP camera. So I also have a low light hike vision camera, and it actually has a much better viewing angle for something like driving through these narrow canals. 1 second, I'm going to see if I can get this camera off of here. Stand by, guys. There's this window. Get out of the side of the stupid canal, too. Or let's hope that doesn't fail, because if it does, we are going to have a problem. While the boat is drifting to the dang left, right into the shallows. Aggravating. So damn shallow in here. Let's try this. I'm going to try. I'm going to tell you, though, if I bump this camera, it could go out the window, which would not be cool, because it is my phone as well. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get any kind of a view. Almost do better to have vertical video on this thing where you guys can actually see outside. So my boat's decided to start smoking or steaming, and I don't smell oil. So I'm thinking that it's time to change the exhaust manifolds. I only hope it's not too late. It only takes one bad night of leaving your boat sitting there with the engine off and the manifold draining into the exhaust port, hydrolocking your engine and ruining your summer. And it is almost warm enough to run the air conditioner. Get out of this canal. I'm tired of going 3. We're going to go 4. Yeah, compared to the natural side, it's night and day. I still think that while these are nice to have, that probably be You know, if you can do it with your eyes, it's better. You can be in an open top boat where you can stand up and just let your eyes adjust to everything. I don't know why the focus is suddenly going to do this. Different way. Man, look at that. It's going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it? Look at that. Well, I was hoping maybe we'd catch some fireworks out here too. There's actually going to be a fireworks show every night, starting tomorrow night all the way through Saturday. All of them by the water. So if I wanted to go out every night, I could catch a fireworks show every night. But then there's also all the privately shot ones. All right, that's the end of the canal right there ahead. I'm going to end this live stream and I'm going to probably go to vertical. It'll be easier to see out the front and the display. And I'm not even sure this thing is public at this point. It's a good dark night. Good test night. Alrighty, so we're clear of everything. All right, let's see what our settings are. All right, we're going to restart. I'm going to restart the live stream.